in my opinion.
Right. Best way to put it. Check it out. You do not want to miss this.
Hello, world. I am Bentrice Jesu, and we're here to talk about the Potential Project. You got to forgive most of us because we don't do this Zoom call thing. And so here we are. We got U moving, and we still got Diego's name. So get to know these people. So, as I said, we're here to talk about the Potential Project. It was started 6 years ago when I almost lost my life to gun violence back in Orlando. And I thought about what could happen if my potential was never realized. They never seen the video, they never heard the music. And shortly after that, my student was killed. And we were working on music and his poetry and bringing his art to life. And so that sent the message and translated to all of the potential and possibility of the people who nonsensically lost their lives to gun violence. And we all probably know a person or two. So this project, as well as many of the other projects that we work on individually as artists, is meant to give life and pay respects to those who lost their lives to gun violence and violence in general, and also highlight potential and possibility of the art that exists within us, the art that exists within the city, and the possibility that's within the city. So after working with all of those instances, I got a private studio, began to think through all of the pieces that might show themselves in this part, but Yana of the Trent Health team came in and seen the work that I was doing, seeing the scores of young people, older people that have gotten killed over the last 5 years that I post in my walls as a reminder, or I post in my studio as a reminder, and just asked me what was going on. And Yana of the Trent Health team again wrote a grant to the Kresge Foundation, who are the funders to this project. And so that brings me to this piece where all of our affiliates, funders, and associates are as followed. The Kresge Foundation, they are, again, the funders of this. The Trenton Health team is the partners. Again, they co-wrote the grant, and they are the administrative help and administrative team behind the entire body of how this is going to realize. Artworks, that's where my current studio is, and they are affiliates, associates, and technical assistance to this entire piece. And so in a later form, when this is pretty much at its presentable phase, we will have a showing and a couple more discussions, public discussions at Artworks and with their help. Kimmy Carlos, just a brilliant mind who speaks deeply and so well to, and have been in providing us training to mental health. Mental health is the entire, we realize that it's a deficit, and without training the artists, this is a hard thing to tackle, right? We're talking to families and loved ones and friends of people who lost their lives, and so mental health is a huge component of this, and Kimmy Carlos is providing us with some intentional and amazing training. And then finally, Michelle Madu, or Madu, who is with the Mercer County Division of Mental Health. Again, mental health being a huge component of this, and just another brilliant soul and a brilliant mind who will be providing us with some training so we can be well informed when we speak to the families, because we're not mental health experts, we're artists. That's our expertise, and we'll do a grand injustice if we don't do what we need to do as artists who will be interacting with the families so these art pieces can be illustrated properly. And so that brings me to the artists who are also very much so involved in this process. So I'm Bentrice Jesu, as I said. The other artists who are involved are going to introduce themselves. So you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay. Jeanette Jesu, hi. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Trenton, New Jersey, born and raised here. Although my roots are from Liberia. I My artistic medium would be dancing and writing, but I want to incorporate interpretive dance in this, so I'm going to infuse them both. And I'm happy to do this project because it's something I'm very passionate about when it comes to mental health and using your artistry as a healing source and also as a resource to connect with others that can connect with you and can share their similar stories with you. Happy to be here.
The other artists will introduce themselves, their name, their age, if they want, their artistic medium, and why they chose to be a part of the project.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm Tara Applegate. I'm 23 years old, and for this particular project, my art of choice is going to be poetry, and I'm from Trenton. I was born here, raised here. I went away to college, and after college, I also came back to Trenton. So.
Hi, my name is Hannah Sabri. I'm 25 years old, born and raised in Trenton, New Jersey as well. My medium will be singer, songwriter. And what got me interested in the project is my own work, being in school as well, my own research with mental health and mental health for urban communities. When Bentrice contacted me to ask me to join as an artist, I thought it was a no-brainer because of the interest that I have and how this is also trying to highlight the potential of Black individuals, just like my research always does. So happy to be here.
Oh, you're next. If you can unmute yourself.
My name is Umar Alim, a.k.a. Big U, hip-hop recording artist from Trenton, New Jersey. I was moved to be a part of the project knowing a lot of people that lost their life, to the streets of Trenton, New Jersey due to gun violence. I feel like this is a platform to keep the name alive and talk to the families to get a different perspective on the story than we usually get. Just happy to be a part of it.
Thank you. And Diego, I'm not sure if you are here with us. And I'll skip. Diego is a videographer. He's done a lot of the music videos from a lot of the hip hop artists in the town. And I can't speak for why he's involved, but I wanted to get him involved because he has a good videographer's eye, as well as he speaks to the language that a lot of the young people in the town sort of pays attention to. And so he also has an interest in like documentary style videos now, and so this will be a chance for him to really scratch that interest of his. And so I never said my medium. I'm a poet. I am a videographer. I do a lot, and I'm going to be creating the virtual reality experience in this work. So as we go forward, I wanted to ask, so I'm going to start asking y'all questions, and y'all feel free to chime in whenever y'all feel moved to answer a particular question. And if y'all don't feel like answering the question, just let me know. Now go to the next one. All right. So why are you participating in the project, and why is this personally important to you and the town?
I'll go first. I'm participating in this project because, like what I said before, I'm passionate about mental health and advocating for that, and also know that sometimes perception is like not the best when it comes to men in this town, let alone Black people in inner cities, especially Trenton, New Jersey. And I believe that everyone has a story to tell. And I feel like sometimes those stories are cut prematurely. But because you knew that person, you can at least honor them by retelling their legacy. And because I had two men in my life that I don't want to say their potential was cut prematurely because one is still alive, my father. His state right now, his mental state is not the best as it was. And I never knew my grandfather. So that's something that, and they're Black men. And for me, it's important for me to carry on that legacy as his daughter and grandchild. And I have a brother, the eldest, but I believe that because it's majority women in our family, we have to carry on the birthright. So just to put it in the bowl.
I think some of you already answered that. Thank you so much, Annette. Some of you answered that question essentially in the intro. So I'm actually going to skip that if y'all okay with that. Yep. Is there anything that comes up for you as you've been thinking through and building your piece, your art piece, when you talk to families and the piece that you're going to contribute to this? Has anything been coming up?
I'll share. I think something that I've been thinking about a lot when you first introduced the project to me, and even before that, just when the topic comes up ever, you really can't get through to someone whose shoes you can't put yourself in. You can't really expect to make an impact, or you can't really expect to get through to like a certain community, a certain individual, if you can't understand exactly, if you can't relate to them, one, and if you can't understand their point of view within life, within their position in life. So with that being said, like with the whole goal of this project, it's very easy to say, put the guns down, right? It's easy. But if your brother that you've been growing up with, is your best friend, your everything, like your brother, your mentor, somebody who you love to death, even if y'all aren't as close as what I'm describing, regardless, if they're taken away from you by gun violence, it's easy to say that you wouldn't want to retaliate, or you wouldn't feel anger, or you wouldn't want their killer to be, you wouldn't want to avenge. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's easy to say that, but until it happens to you, you never really know. And I'm not justifying or excusing any of this behavior at all, but I feel like it's very important to try to empathize, and it's important. I feel like it's important to try to understand where all of this is coming from. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just making things seem so white and black, like, put the guns down. Why aren't people fighting anymore? Why is everybody just shooting? Because there's answers to the questions. Instead of asking these questions, like just saying, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Instead, understanding why. Instead of just asking why, like it's all so simple, really trying to understand why. Why are people doing this? Why do they feel like they have to continue down this path? So I just feel like it's really important to try to put yourself in that person's shoes, to get the most that you can get out of this project itself.
Awesome. Thank you, Tara. Is anybody else? Okay. So with that said, given the climate of what's been going on, there's been, in 2020 alone, there were 40 homicides, more than it has been in the past. Given that, do you think that people will receive this project well? Right? You got a whole bunch of reminders that, people are dying or have died in a concentrated area. How do you think people will receive it? Is this a project just about highlighting the deaths of people?
I think the project will be received well. At the end of the day, right, no matter what the paper says, no matter how you perceive people, no matter how the stories you hear, third person, whatever the case may be, it's somebody that loves that person. You understand what I'm saying? It's somebody that was affected by their death. It's somebody that misses that person. It's somebody that still feels a way when they drive down certain streets, that, still mourns their death date, thinks about them on their birthdays. So I think this project would be good, for those people. Like I said, it's just to keep that memory alive, man. You know what I mean? It's so many people. The sad thing about it is there's so many people that died out here. When I came to your office and seen all the pictures, it was people I forgot about. You know what I mean? And that's what this project does. This project allows you not to forget. It allows you to go to those same spaces and be like, damn, such and such happened here, or this happened here. You know what I'm saying? It's always a reminder. And like we said when we talk, when you think about that person, you just want to have a moment by yourself. Because so many of us got so much on our minds, so much we're going through. We never get a chance to go sit down and really do therapy and talk about our cousin that got killed, or our next door neighbor we grew up with that got killed, or our little brother, or whatever the case may be. We just deal with it and keep going on and keep going on. Sometimes, you know what I mean, we just want to be reminded to think of that person and have some good memories. So, long story short, I think this project will be received well by the city.
Thank you, U. I'm always apprehensive about like that, right? Like, is it going to be an offensive type of thing? Is it going to be too in their face that they're going to go into themselves and sort of like things come back up? And so when it's not just designed about, and I wanted to make that clear, it's not just designed to be, this death happened here, but how can we honor this person's life? Hannah, did you have something you wanted to? Okay.
I think it's also about intent of not just, I think it's an intent of all. So intent of us doing the project, intent of the families, intent of the audience. Just like to Big Oo's point, people are talking about their loved ones. So yes, we are mourning, but this is a beautiful thing to talk about positive memories and loving exchanges that we had with our brother, sister, wife, husband, and things of that nature. So it's like, it will be received well because the love will be there. The love will transpire through all of the stories. The love will be the focus, Like Tara said, it's not just a black and white thing. It's a full story that needs to be told, but in a way that highlights the authenticity, the potential of the being, not just what happened to them or a situation or a scenario. So when I saw this question, I wasn't even thinking about the families. I was thinking more so the audience. I was thinking some more of outsiders of the city that might be viewing this. Will they perceive it well? Will this just be another list of things that they might deem negative when we're just trying to literally show life and love? So I hope that for the future, as people want to be a part of our community, as people are trying to assist us in uplifting our community, that they don't judge this scenario or see it as something different other than, expression of love and loved ones that we care about dearly.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Hannah. I forgot to mute myself. I hope I wasn't. Yes. I wasn't doing that in there. But in that same vein, I know. So you talked earlier about this being your area of focus in school, and so how do you think, in that same vein, trying to segue into this next question, but how do you think art can contribute to talking about mental health, especially in places like Trenton, right? And if we have the Petri dish, if we have the magnifying glass on us, how can we use art? Because I really do think art can be a way to navigate these hard issues. But how do you think it can contribute to our community and the conversation?
And it's so funny when, like, society, you hear the word art, you think of so many, like, specific things like painting and whatever we subconsciously think about. But it's like, especially for us as our original people, that's how we express. It's not like a genre of some sort. It is our expression. It's how we talk. It's how we communicate. It's how we communicate. So I think art is a big factor and attribute when it comes to Black and brown individuals, when it comes to Black and brown individuals in urban cities, because we have stories to tell, we have experiences, we have voices that need to be heard to the masses. You know, we talk about all the time the majority vote. That doesn't really exist. It's a whole nother tangent. But yes, I feel as though it is important for the arts to be the avenue, because it is the avenue for us. It is our way as people of expressing ourselves. We don't do this, and you know, you can insert so many other things in that space of corporate or you know, I don't want to go off on another tangent. I could get deep about stuff like the different things, but yes, art is our expressive form. So it is the form that we use to express ourselves, whether that be singing, rapping, poetic words put on a song, dancing, body expression, you know, videography, our eyes seeing through another lens, you know, all of it is trying to express ourselves. It's from our core.
Thank you, Hannah. Does anybody want to contribute to that?
I feel like to answer the question about, you know, art in relation to mental health, I never really thought, until I saw the question in writing, I never really thought too much about art and mental health specifically, but I think that, you know, art evokes a lot of emotion. So an artist can make the audience feel the anger that they're expressing, the pain that they're expressing, the happiness that they're expressing, sexiness if they're expressing that, joy, whatever the artist is saying through their art, the audience can feel that. And I think that identifying with those emotions or feelings that you feel when you look at or hear or experience art, you know, you understand those feelings, but you know, you have to identify, am I relating to this? Like, is this the feelings of the artist, or are some of these feelings also mine? Mm-hmm. And if I can relate to the pain that this artist is expressing so deeply, then maybe some of these feelings are also mine, and maybe I might need to do something about that. You know, if I can hear this song and I'm crying at this song because I relate to it so much, maybe it's time for me to talk about this with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or even like seeing a portrait of someone and then that evoke certain emotions. Like, you know, maybe I'm not, you know, I'm experiencing everyday life, but maybe I'm not as okay as I thought I was because this has evoked this within me. So I think that once I saw that question, like that all pieced together for me. So I definitely feel like Hannah said, like art is a form of communication. And on that average day, you know, we're not just asking each other, hey, how are you holding up about the loss of your loved one? We're not just asking that in casual conversation. So I think that this is a great, I don't know the word, but I think that this is good.
Yeah, you're good. So we're coming to a close, and I just wanted to thank all of you. Y'all already know how I feel about y'all brilliance as individuals, as artists, and as contributors to this, because I know we all have had our bouts of loss. And I just wanted to absolutely thank you all for giving yourself and your time to this. I wanted for the audience to just share, let them know how they will be able to receive this. All the links will be provided on this live stream. But also look for this square. I'm gonna share my screen right here. Hold shift. Share. This is the image that you will come to understand and experience the experience. This square is meant to symbolize so much, right? 7 square miles of potential. We are small, we are constrained, but I live by a mantra that constraints inspire creativity. And although we might be in this 7 square mile, whatever, we can also bleed outside of that 7 square mile. We can also impress and make an impression and impact everything outside of that 7 square miles, in spite and despite what's going on with the violence. But there's also a host of potential that can be found within this 7 square miles of potential. So this is the square that you will come to experience all over the town, and you'll know what to do with it when you see it. So thank you all so much. How I stop staring, stop share. Boom. If y'all have any last words, artists, please feel free to say it. But we're coming to a close on this panel discussion.
Thank you, Bentrice.
You're welcome, Tara.
Yeah, thank you. To co-sign, yes, thank you for providing this like space and opportunity to allow others to get an idea of our way of sharing how we feel through different ways and how we could connect with others. That's the thing that's most important. And to give honor. I think that's like for me, it's about honor, honoring a life. That's not just a number or not just something that happened, like a news moment. It's a person that we have to bring honor to. So.
Right.
And I'm just excited that, I wear my city on my sleeve, on my heart, on my back. So I'm just happy and overjoyed that we're bringing things like this to the city, conversations, even, outings, spaces where people could come and discuss in a group. I've never felt that before here in the city on this type of topic, on this type of level. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to even be from here in order to even do this, to even have the opportunity to do this. So yes, I'm grateful for all of you.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you, Tara. Oh, I would love to hear from you.
Hey, I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be involved, man. Something positive in the midst of all the negativity going on, man. I think it's going to be very effective. I think it's going to get, we don't do it for the praise, but I think it's going to get the praise it deserves because it's coming from an authentic space. It's coming from a genuine space. It's not forced. You know what I mean? I think it's just a great idea. I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm not happy to be on board. I'm just happy to be here. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. All right. Thank y'all so much. That's it. That's the end of our TED Talk.
Okay. Thank you, guys. See y'all.
So this is a sketch of my student and one of the victims. And it is a sample of what they will look like. Obviously, this is on paper. When they exist inside the community as the placemaker at the location, they will actually be more weatherized. They'll be bigger, weather resistant and graffiti resistant. But just for the mere sake of creating this sample, I printed it out because I do the sketches digitally. But they will exist like this, for example. And then when you walk up to it, a loved one, a resident, a family member, a friend, they will put their phones up to it, and then it will begin.
The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue. The lips, the tongue of the teeth.
So my hands aren't that steady, but...
Articulating what it is that we need to take, right? So articulation, you know what that is? Everybody say this: the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the teeth, the tongue, the teeth.
So obviously it exists
the lips
within the virtual space
the lips,
to depth.
The teeth, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue. The tip of the tongue. The tip of the tongue. The teeth. The teeth. The lips. I learned to separate my wants from my needs. As fast as it comes, as fast as it leaves. I
I see the hate in their eyes as I breathe, cause I die on my feet before I live on my knees. My city's starving. You'd understand the greed. You do what needs done when there's another mouth to feed. But those decisions be the reason why they squeeze on the trigger of that Glock down another human being. My city crazy. We don't know how to stop it, and the ones that really can is the ones that's really watching. We all know, yeah, Trenton's pretty violent, but anything is possible. I learned that from Obama.
That was really great. Bentrice's work is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I can't wait to see it like fully completed.
Yeah, I was going to say, what we got, the glimpses we got to see were amazing, but hearing that there's going to be more discussions and more, exhibitions of what she's been working on is awesome. Right now we got some more live music.